Welcome to Karkom Cards and Comics. I'm Hearst.
Big Josh, what it do?
Today we are in for a battle. It's the Battle of the Ages, the special edition Duel, the limited edition foil cover variant of Duel. I brought a team of people, and so did you?
I might have brought a team, but I don't think I might not need a team. I might only need one fighter.
And I also feel the same way. But, since we supposed to pick 5 people each, I did. So basically, the way this is going to go is the same type of deal that we always done with Duel. We're going to do 1v1 fights, but we're going to start with 5 fights. See whoever moves on for their team until it's down to only one team left. And if we can't agree, then we're just going to have to
Duke it out
in the comics.
Fisticuffs.
In the comics.
Mono
in
mono.
The comments. So,
we're not going to fight it out, our bare knuckles?
No, my elbow hurts, and somebody ripped my heart out last week. I'm still trying to recover. Yeah, dude, it was bad.
It wasn't me.
No, it wasn't. No, his name was Kano. I guess the Black Dragon Clan is a big deal. And this, okay, I'm sorry. We're going too far on. Okay, so what we do is we both bring a character to the table, and we duke it out, see who could win. Today we took our teams, presented it to our third party. We did not pick the same team. We always start this off with predictions. So I actually had a couple ideas on teams that you could have brought. One stipulation being that if a character from that team has previously appeared in an episode, we cannot use that team for this episode. So all 10 of the characters that are fighting today are brand new to Duel.
Absolutely.
So no X-Men characters, no Fantastic Four, none of the biggest, baddest teams out there, I guess, unless you brought
no Alpha
the
Flight.
Avengers.
Yeah, no Alpha Flight, unfortunately. Can't do the Avengers.
No?
I don't think so.
Who was picked out of the Avengers already?
If you know, put it in the comments below. I thought we said no Avengers because someone was already part of it. Well, either way, I guess that means neither of us picked the Avengers, right?
Yeah, I know I didn't pick the Avengers, but no, I thought the Avengers were still on the table. I mean, Wolverine was an Avenger, kind of, but it's not like when you think of Wolverine, you think of the Avengers.
I mean, Karma was a member of the Avengers, but not a very well-known Avenger. Did I do Red Hulk for any of our fights?
No, you were going to bring Red Hulk,
and then I didn't. Okay,
but then it was for the predominantly red fight. You were going to bring Red Hulk, and then you chose
Gladiator.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I guess Avengers were on the table because I sure didn't have any Avengers written down. So
yep, I know I didn't.
I feel like that would have been too obvious. You could have planned around that.
Yeah, well, yeah, because I mean, you could have brought just the Hulk, right, and just World War Hulk beats everybody.
I did just watch the End of Days Hulk storyline on YouTube, where he's basically the last one living, and the Recorder comes to Earth, basically thinking everyone's dead, but then finds Bruce Banner, and then leaves like a little camera TV thing that follows him around, so that way he doesn't have to keep checking to find out when he dies, so they can write down when the Earth is actually dead.
Interesting.
And, yeah, so it's a crazy story, and it just ultimately ends up where ultimately Bruce Banner does die, but Hulk lives on, so Hulk is just by himself. He doesn't have Banner to bother him, and he's just living out his days because he's immortal. He can't die.
That's interesting.
And it's just Hulk.
All right, so for teams that I thought you brought, I kind of went every which way on this. I definitely thought you might have brought the 7. just because, I mean, Homelander, bro. How cool would that be? I almost brought the 7, but spoiler alert, I didn't bring the 7.
Spoiler alert, I did not either, but I did deeply consider them.
Really?
Where I do have a profile written out for all 7 members, not even just 5, because I couldn't figure out who I was going to cut.
Damn. Okay.
But I do have a profile.
Well, I know Black Noir was gonna make it to the end.
Oh yeah,
and Homelander.
As long
is
as
gonna
nobody
make
brought peanuts to the fight.
Yeah, Charlie Brown would whoop his ass.
Ooh.
Let's see who else. That I made a joke about. You're bringing Agents of Shield.
Dum Dum Dugan.
Yeah, because I mean, like, Dum Dum Dugan actually arm-to-arm combat against Godzilla in a comic.
That's awesome.
So I mean, like, what can he not do, right? But yeah, I don't know any other teams really that I think you may have brought. So what do you have for me? Who do you think I brought to the table today?
Well, I did think there's a few things, like we joked around Z Fighters, like I joked about Heralds of Galactus, except for you brought Golden Oldie, and then with the Z Fighter thing, we were talking about that, and you were like, but I don't think they were ever mentioned like that in the comics. There was just like what the fans kind of dubbed them.
Yeah, so like I didn't feel like bringing the Z Fighters technically fit,
right?
Because yeah, they're a team, but they're more like just like a group of guys more than like have a team code that they have to live up to or whatever.
But ultimately, I was actually going to bring a comic with me for this part of the video where when you asked prediction, I was going to bring a Watchmen comic with me because I just felt like that's the way you were going to go. And then if your shirt is any indication on which route you went, I don't
can you see it?
think I'm wrong with your Rorschach shirt.
Well, you are wrong.
Okay.
The shirt is just a ruse.
Okay.
You're supposed to think about Watchmen when you see me in it today. But yeah, I was like, what team shirt do I have that's obscure that I can wear? And I mean, I did consider them for a minute because, like, they're a parody of Justice League in
as are the
roundabout
7.
way. Yeah, kind of like the 7, which is why I wanted to do the what is it? The Squadron Supreme. I almost brought them because, like,
the alternate universe versions of them.
Yeah, because Hyperion is basically Superman, and like they're basically a 1-for-1, so it's a strong team too. But no, not the Watchmen today.
Oh, okay.
Nope. Should I just reveal now?
Yeah, go ahead, and then I'll follow suit.
Okay, so
without giving away the members, I think we should give away the members as the fights go.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Because my team of 5 is not just a team of 5. Like the team is a broader team. There's a lot of members of this team initially, so I just have 5 of them. And dun, 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 I drew up their little logo. Boom!
Ah, okay.
We went with the soon-to-be movie Eternals from Marvel. These guys, I feel like, because this is a number 1 for a movie for them, like they're not as well known of a character, so potential spoilers in this about who these characters are and their abilities and whatnot. So if you want to wait until after you see the movie to watch this, I totally understand. But this is basically just going to be a rundown of their power sets and everything. I know absolutely nothing about the movie, so if anything matches up, it's an accident or Marvel did it on purpose. I don't know. I don't know either way.
Okay.
But this is the team I went with.
And they have a Superman on their team, so this is going to be an interesting fight.
You asked for the A-list.
I did. I figured why hold back here, you know?
I gave the option. I said you can either fight, because it was like split down the middle for me. I was like right there between picking the A team or the B team. I was like, I'll let you choose your fate.
So, just out of curiosity, who was the B team? Or do you want to save that for a future episode?
I'm not going to save it for a future episode, but I'm going to drop it later in the episode.
Okay. Because I already dropped the 7 was my B team. I didn't go with them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that would be interesting then to see the 7 versus my B team. That would be that'd be something.
Okay.
All right. So let's hear who you got.
So the team that I went with, they're going to be a little more known. There's been so many members of this villain group that I went with. They've been led by different people, in the past. So I just kind of picked and chose my fighters through the list as a whole. I didn't break it down to each iteration of the team because it's always had the same name. It's always been this name over time, and the roster is probably 50 plus different.
The Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
No.
Oh.
But some of them are on this list.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
So it's Marvel versus Marvel.
It is Marvel versus Marvel.
Whoa!
So I too wore a shirt to try to throw you off today.
Okay, I appreciate it.
This Superman, I rarely wear this Superman shirt anymore just because I lost some weight and it flows on me now. But I figured, you know what, let's try to throw him off and wear the DC shirt today.
Well, I mean, I didn't think you would bring Superman.
Yeah.
Since I did use Cyborg Superman specifically, and I don't know if he's ever part of any team with any other supes or not, but yeah, so I didn't even feel swayed by that T-shirt.
Okay. I wasn't swayed, but it definitely helped solidify my guess because I was already thinking that's the way you went.
How long into today did you notice I was wearing it? Right away?
Literally, when you pointed it out right before the video, I had no clue that was a Rorschach shirt. I didn't pay attention at all. And then when we were talking about teams, you did one of the pop the collar type things. And then I looked at the shirt and I was like, I was right. Until I was wrong.
Nice.
So, the team I went with, which I don't have a fancy card because I can have no artistic skills whatsoever, but I went with the Lethal Legion.
Okay.
So, in the course of comic history, they've probably had 10 to 12 different versions just in the comics alone. And then when you start counting cartoons and all that stuff, they have so many members. Which I won't
Lethal Legion.
I won't go with, which my boy is a member at one point of Lethal Legion, Juggernaut.
Oh, is he?
But
okay.
I'm not going to bring him to a team fight. I feel like he's going to do a standalone fight for me because that's my boy. Me and Jugs.
Yeah, this dude loves Jugs.
Oh, yeah.
Have you got any pictures? DM him.
Big ones, small ones.
Yeah, because he bought those 5-inch jugs.
Those figures I bought. I got one that was the 3 that were this big. The one that's way bigger.
Yeah.
Some have helmets, some don't.
Yeah.
They're great. I love Jugs of all sizes and shapes. Send your pictures. Don't send your pictures.
All right, so
so round one?
Round one, I actually have all of my fighters on separate numbered cards, so it can be completely random on which one goes first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So
I too wrote numbers next to my fighters' names on the order I wanted to bring them to the fight. So I'll start, and then so what are you going to do? Just bring the same numbered fighter against my numbered fighter?
you get to pick the number first. So
so we'll go back and forth?
yeah, we'll just go back and forth. So who's fighting first? What number?
Number 1.
Number 1's fighting first. Okay.
I'm going to start with my most least known fighter on this list
All
that
right.
I had never even heard about until this point. And that is Tricephalus.
All right, I'm just gonna put Tricep because I don't know about all that. All right, so I'm gonna reveal the. I have no idea who that character is. I don't know. So my character is Ajax.
Which I know nothing about the Eternals. I haven't watched anything, so.
I have the first appearance of the Eternals. I know of them very vaguely. So it's not anything that I'm going into this very much well known. But I did write down on my Ajax card here that their power set. So Ajax has full control over their own molecular structure. They are invulnerable and they are enhanced by cosmic energy. This person has super strength up to 25 tons. Because they have control over their own molecular structure, the only way that this being has been killed is by spreading their body across like an entire continent. So like they had to not just blow up a part of him or anything, but they had to like blow him up so far away from everything that he had no way of pulling himself back together, which is incredibly difficult. He does not grow tired. He can fly 650 miles per hour. He has eye blasts, hand blasts, light, heat, and concussive blasts that he can shoot from his eyes or his hands. This Ajax is a master hand-to-hand fighter and wrestler. They can rearrange molecular structure up to about 990 pounds worth of matter before they have to rest for an hour.
Okay.
Because they have complete control over their molecular structure, they have been both in a male form and a female form. They can just change their entire body at will.
Little OP.
Yeah, and this isn't the strong one on the team.
Okay.
All right, so I'm going to pull up a picture of Ajax here while you talk about your guy.
So Tricephalus is basically a kaiju. Not basically, he is a kaiju. He's a giant-ass Godzilla-sized, three-headed flying dragon. Possesses superhuman strength, obviously. He can fly. He, at one point, professed his love for Mole Man after Squirrel Girl rejected him.
What?
His only powers of note are he can breathe fire out of all three of his heads.
3 heads. Okay.
So this is Oh, there's a phone number. This is Tricephalus.
Oh, okay. I've seen him before.
Yeah, so he's in the newer comics. They did that like monster run with Man-Thing and
the Monsters Unleashed.
Yeah, so he's featured in there.
This is Ajax originally in his man form.
He's actually like one of the leaders of Monster Island, where all like those big monsters were banished to in the comics.
All right.
At one point, he was even kidnapped away, and was different villains were trying to use him for their needs, but he kept finding his way back to Monster Island.
Okay. This is Ajax as they look now in the comics, the new comics.
Okay.
So, I mean, this is going to be interesting. All right, so kaiju monster, super strong, breathe fire. Is that it?
Is in love with Mole Man.
Well, I mean, who isn't with a body like that?
It's because Mole Man freed him from one of the villains at one point.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Plus, Squirrel Girl rejected him, so she's whack.
I mean, he's a big monster thing. Like,
yeah, he's a giant kaiju.
Yeah, okay.
Like, there's pictures of him going, like, toe-to-toe with Godzilla. I mean, he's looked different during all kinds of different things, but ultimately I went with him because I had never heard of him, and when I looked him up, I'm like, you know what? That's a giant kaiju. Why not?
All right. Yeah, I get why. I was gonna say I'll give you that one, but I wasn't throwing in the towel. I was just like, I get why, you would pick this one. But is there anything about his speed, like how fast he is?
I couldn't find anything about how fast he is. It just says he possesses superhuman speed. That's all I can find.
Okay.
So as fast as he's at least as fast as the slowest fast superhero, if that makes any sense. So
All right.
I can't imagine it being that big, being able to go that fast. Slow. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll say Mach 1.
So what can you do against control of molecular structure?
We can breathe fire on it.
To somebody that's invulnerable
If we go
and doesn't get tired.
If we go over 950 pounds, he can't restructure
Yeah, but I
my
mean,
molecular state.
He can. Is that the weight of your heart?
We're just gonna breathe that much fire on him per hour.
Per hour.
We have 3 heads that can breathe fire. So
Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I think I got that.
I think so too. I literally brought him just because he's a giant kaiju. I didn't expect him to do anything.
Okay.
I just wanted a badass kaiju on my team.
Because the only way, like I said, the only way that you can actually kill this person is by exploding them across an entire continent.
We can do that.
And, like, just breathe them fire?
We can eat them and then chow down a ton of Taco Bell afterwards.
Like, with somebody that has concussive laser hands and eyes?
Yeah.
You're just going to throw that in your mouth?
Yep. And then follow it with Taco Bell and then explosive diarrhea across the entire United States.
Just because that's what you just did 10 minutes ago doesn't mean that your little kaiju guy is going to be able to do it. So, I think I won.
Maybe.
I think round 1 is in the bag on that one.
Put it in the comments otherwise, but
All right, tricephalidid.
tricephalus.
It's less. Lifeless. Tricephalifeless. Do you like that? I just did that on my own. All right, so this time we're going to go with fighter number 3.
Ooh, one of my faves.
I'm choosing number 3. So, you revealed first last time. I will reveal first this time. This time it's Makari, who basically is the Flash of the Marvel Universe. This is the fastest of the fast, the speediest of the speedy. Also has a cosmically reinforced body, full control over their molecular body, super strength up to 30 tons. So this guy is, slightly stronger than the last one. But superhuman speed. He actually gave up his innate ability to fly so that he could run faster, but then eventually learned to fly again without losing any of that speed.
Okay.
He can create cyclones by running. He never gets tired. He can channel his power into other objects. He can mentally create illusions and change the shape of objects. He also has blasts from the eyes and hands, the same either light, heat, or concussive blasts. But he even has electromagnetic powers to a little degree. He can teleport. He can make people and objects grow wings, but those wings vanish over time. But he is an expert at all transportation. So if you need a vehicle designed, he can do it. He can build it. And he can even transfer energy to it so it can run. So he can just use his own energy to power things or people.
Just the Bollywood guy?
Bollywood?
From the trailer for Eternals?
I I don't know which actor plays him, but there's only one speedster that they really show.
Okay.
That I thought, like the scene in front of the gate, like they like run into the frame real quick. So I don't think it's that one, but I don't know. I don't know the trailer well enough to say. All right, so that's Makari. Let me write this down. Originally named just Mercury, and then like retconned into an Eternal. But all right, who do you got?
So my next fighter, you know the popular saying, when the immovable force meets the unstoppable object?
Oh no.
My fighter is that immovable force.
Oh gosh.
My next fighter goes, his real name is Fred Dukes. You might know him as the Blob.
I might know him as Fred Dukes.
The Blob, as seen here, he basically has gravitational mass allocation, virtually immovable. He has implosion inducement, mass shifting, pain immunity. He can trap things in his flesh. He's been shown to be able to lift over 5 tons. I mean, the guy is so unmovable that when him and the Juggernaut went toe to toe, they literally ripped the plates of the earth when Juggernaut tried to lift him.
Nice.
So, I'm crushing any vehicle you got in this fight.
Oh, okay, all right.
He doesn't have a long list.
This is from the movie, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So it's not the Bollywood guy.
Nope. But the Blob is surprisingly fast for his size, and of course he's just like uber strong. You can't really like penetrate his skin because he can change the density down to like a liquid if he wanted to. And like I said, people can get trapped in there. Like one of my favorite shots from the OG animated series was when Wolverine tried to get him, and Blob just made a circle in his stomach, and he went right through it.
Yeah, which was like, okay, that's a thing, I guess.
Yeah, they actually ended up retconning that in the comics because of the animated series, so I thought that was cool.
That is cool.
But yeah, he's my boy. He's probably like a C tier villain. You know, he's always like the comedic relief with Toad. You know, But I think he's very underrated, and he definitely should be more feared than what he is.
I 100% agree. I feel like he is underappreciated and underused. I feel like he could be a more dominant character just because of who he is and what the powers are. I feel like a lot of times writers may be afraid to showcase, or whatever reason they don't want to showcase, whatever stigma around,
maybe
weight and everything.
Yeah.
But like, I don't feel like that's necessarily, his name's kind of not the coolest name for fat shaming, but I think Blob is cool. Like, he works with what he's got, and I think he's underrated. So I do think he's a good character, but I think being able to never get tired is where the Blob is going to falter when it comes to the fastest speedster ever. Because you're used to being around Quicksilver and you're used to that, but Makari's on a whole next level.
But what can Makari even do to the Blob physically?
Physically, just disorient them, I guess. Like, you don't really have to do much. He could give the Blob wings.
You want a flying Blob?
Why not? If he's not going to be moving, I mean, you might as well give him the movement and put him in the air, and then what does he do?
Belly flops the world.
Belly flops the world. I don't even know what that would what would that even do?
Like I said, the Juggernaut to lift him literally took ripping and destroying the tectonic plates.
Well, what could you do to me?
I can turn into a puddle, and then as you run across said puddle, trap you within my body. You will never get out.
Is he that fast with his blub?
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Once you run through it, you're trapped.
Can he like really puddle himself all the way down?
All
like
the way
flat?
to liquid. Yep.
Really, his whole self?
His whole self.
He's hydromanning it.
Basically, like it's one of his lesser known abilities. It is one of his newer comic abilities that he's been shown to use, and probably because of how weird it is, it doesn't get used very often.
Oh, that's interesting.
But yeah, they've shown him like slip under doors, like things like that, like totally get down to like a liquid state to go underneath a door.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. How does he feel against heat?
Fat people generally don't like being hot.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that because I have heat vision and heat blasts from my hands.
Do all the Eternals have heat vision and blasts from their hands?
Spoiler alert. You want me to answer that? Yeah, and they all never get tired, and they all have cosmically reinforced molecular structure of their own body.
Little OP.
You could have been fighting the Ginyu Force, but you wanted the A team.
Was that really the B team?
That was the B team.
That is awesome.
I dropped it here. You heard it.
Imagine Goldo versus the Blob.
Imagine getting body swapped with Captain Ginyu. And the Blob. He's imagining it. I see it. Yeah. Well, you want to say it?
Yeah, Blob wins.
I do not agree. Let's see. Can mentally create illusions. I can make you believe you won. If that makes Frank start walking off. I can change the shape of objects. I don't know how that's going to help. It probably doesn't.
My team is, they just tagged out, and they are also the Eternals now. Can I borrow some of your cards?
Really? You're taking it? I'm taking it.
You're taking it.
All right. That's 31 points for me.
31?
See, man? Yeah, see? That's what it says right here.
All right, so
Dang.
Let's see who you got for fighter number 3.
That was number 3, dude.
That was number 2.
That was number 3. That was card number 3.
Round 3.
Oh, well, you're picking this one.
Did I?
Yeah, because you picked one. I picked number 3. You pick a number this time that's not 1 or 3.
1. Plus 1.
Okay. So card number 2.
So my fighter for number 2, his real name is Victor Creed.
Oh no. The Sabertooth.
Based on the way these fights are going, I think I brought a severely underpowered fighter for an Eternal. But we'll see what you're...
But here we go anyway.
Saber...
You asked for this.
Sabertooth is he's an expert marksman.
You could have been fighting Goldo.
Expert hand-to-hand combatant. He has an adamantium skeleton and claws. Regenerative healing. Superhuman senses. Superhuman strength, speed, stamina, durability, reflexes, and agility. He's able to dodge point-blank gunfire from the Punisher. So, Let's see.
Which the Punisher's bullets go faster than anybody else's.
Let's see what you can do against the might of Sabretooth.
Okay, well, this time I brought the one, the only fashion designer of the Eternals. She is multilingual and a beautiful, beautiful dancer. Cersei is this one. She has also full control over her own molecular structure. She's invulnerable. Super strength up to 20 tons, so she's the weakest one out of here. But she has a regenerative healing factor.
She's weaker strength-wise than the Speedster?
She is, yeah.
That makes no sense.
It's just because they're mostly a guy, I guess. Like when they were building the hierarchy of their power levels in the 70s or the 80s, probably. I mean, they started in the 70s, but it was like with the official handbook of the Marvel Universe where they actually like belted out like this is the person's strength and all that. But anyways, she has a healing factor that is really great. She once totally like she lost an arm and she just regrew it with her like molecular structure control powers. She can read minds, control minds. She uses her mental powers to even deceive in fights. So where she's excellent hand to hand, she'll make you think you saw her go left, but she's in reality going right. You know, so she'll use that to her advantage to trick people. But she also can do illusion casting that is so good it will trick all 5 senses. So this is perfect for Sabretooth because he's going to smell the fake one too. That's just like, I didn't think that was going to play into it, but I'm glad that it did. She actually has one of the fastest flights. She has upwards of 760 miles an hour. She has telekinesis and teleportation. She also has the cosmic blast from her hands' eyes, which are light, heat, or concussive. And she has matter transmutation. She can just change things from adamantium into oxygen, let's say. And yeah, that's it.
Sabretooth could almost catch a car going at regular speeds when he runs.
Possibly, yeah. You know, and if not, he can smell where it went.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, dude.
I severely came underpowered for this fight.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was really thinking that you might have came with the 7 or something because, like, when I said, "Do you want like how powerful should we really take these?"
Even if I would have went with a 7, even if I were at Superman, these guys can just like, yeah, you're not the Man of Steel, you're the Man of
oxygen.
Yeah. You're the Man of osteoporosis now.
Okay, yeah, this is number 2, Cersei versus Sabretooth. I can spell. How you going?
Round 4.
Somebody just wants it to be over now. Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Man, who is your big guy? The kaiju was your big guy?
Physically.
Okay, so not power wise. All right, so let's go ahead with number 4. Yeah, let's do fighter number 4. This one is the main one. Oops, put that on the wrong side.
He already put a cross through my guy's name like he lost and he doesn't even know who it is yet.
So this one is Icarus. This is the main character of the Eternals, and the main Mojo. He's basically the Superman of the team. He's anything they all can do, he can do better. Yes, he can. Superhuman strength, insane durability. He even survived unharmed, submerged in lava. He does not get tired. He can regenerate from any energy or even a missing limb. He has the best flight speed of all Eternals at 850 miles per hour. He has a low-level psychic ability, though. So he can just read like basic superficial thoughts that you have. He can mentally project illusions. He has mind control over weak-minded people and has even mind-controlled Yellow Jacket for a short time. Telekinesis, cosmic energy manipulation. He has beams from eyes and hands. He prefers eye beams, though. Similar to like Homelander. He can use either heat or concussive. But if he uses his heat vision too long, he actually becomes increased in his sensitivity to pain, but not injury. His max eye beams have even injured the Red Hulk. He can also form a Unimind with other Eternals, where they all basically become like one big Cerebro-like thing. But okay, so who's your guy for this round?
Does it matter?
No.
No?
I don't think so. Does it? Hopefully it does. Who it is, bro?
So let me open my handy dandy notebook here.
I never even showed what Cersei looked like. She won the fight too fast. So here is Cersei. Enjoy her. She's a sight to behold.
My fighter's name translates to he whose limbs shatter mountains and whose back scrapes the sun.
What? Okay, I don't know who that is.
I brought another green dragon to the fight.
Oh,
I brought Fing Fang Foom as my number 4 fighter.
That's awesome. Not gonna lie.
He is a shapeshifter. He's gonna have all the superhuman qualities: strength, durability, flight, stamina, longevity, telepathy, healing factor, spiritual possession, transmorgification. He can shoot beams from his eyes. Ha! I got someone who can do it too. He can physically change anything he looks at into whatever he wants it to be.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, alright.
He has energy assimilation, which means he can absorb any energy shot at him and projectile it back at you.
That's cool. Now these are powers that stack up.
He has acid mist.
Okay.
Asexual reproduction. He needs no man or woman. He is able to have a single scale of his manifest into their own beings based on his emotions. So if he's pissed, one scale is gonna grow into a pissed off Fing Fang Foom. If he's in love, it's gonna be a love struck one. If he's sad, it's just gonna be a little crying baby, Fing Fang Foom.
Okay.
So
that's kind of weird.
With that what you will.
Yeah, hopefully they get set into daycare.
He can fly. I think I said that. I mean, he's a big ass dragon, so. But yeah, I got Fing Fang Foom for this round.
Okay, that's cool. I gotta say that's probably your best bet against Icarus so far. Because I mean, Icarus is gonna be able to deal with all these other ones that you brought so far.
I guess the problem comes down to is the molecular doohickey thing that the Eternals do. That's super powerful, man.
It really is when you break it all the way down. But also mind control of the weak-minded. I think maybe playing into this as well. Even if Fing Fang Foom directly isn't weak-minded, those small beings that come off, I think would be.
Probably.
Where he could influence those to help him fight if it really came down to that.
I mean, that's only yeah. I mean, if you knock the scales off of him, whatever mood he's in at that point, we're gonna grow into.
With 700 or 850 miles per hour flight and the super strength, super speed, telekinesis, I think I can knock some scales off.
Maybe. I can spiritually possess you.
That's pretty cool. And he's weak to that. Icarus is weak to that. Most Eternals are actually. Like, if you somehow come between their mind and body in a way that takes away their power to self-regenerate. Like, so if they're not in control of their own mind, then they can actually be killed pretty easily. So the spiritual possession, the telepathy, that's definitely going to help me there. Yeah, because, I mean, he's telepathic too, but weak with it. Like, he can't do much. Like, I mean, they say that he can control minds, but they also say that he's weak against reading minds, so I don't know. There's got to be some sort of line there that is awfully blurred, because I think in order to control minds, you have to be able to read it. Right. Like, it just seems inherent to me that those powers would go hand in hand, but Icarus is kind of different in that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and give that fight to you. So that way I want to see him go up against the others. So I'll... A pity wins a win. I think even though Icarus is like the strongest, he's also kind of the most arrogant, so and that's just in my little knowledge of him. I could be misreading it, but I think he's the most I don't know what word I'm looking for, but like susceptible to or more trusting or whatever, just where he can be taken advantage of. Okay. And I feel Fin Fang Foom's been around a minute and a half, so yeah, I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna see what he can do against some of these others. So let's go on to the final fight now.
Round 5.
Fight! Alright, so that was a brawl of a brawl. I think we're all wounded after that one. Did you show a picture of your guy? I did show off Icarus. You showed off Fin Fang Foom. Yep. So you have to go first on explaining your character, though. Okay. I threw out Icarus first, so.
So my next character, how do I say this? He is pretty OP. He's my strongest fighter of the group by far.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna regret taking Icarus out, I guess.
his abilities start with, and I didn't even write them all down. He had too many. He's a master with magic, mystical blasts, elemental manipulation, force fields, banishment. He can invoke entities, psionics, spell reversing, mind transference, much like Captain Ginyu, which I thought that was funny that we talked about that earlier.
Okay. That would be an interesting fight then.
He can summon demons, master of hypnotism, teleportation, technopathy, dimensional travel, time travel, electric shock, mystical portals, flight, ensnaring, infrared vision, power absorption, telekinesis, power nullification, and if all that fails, he even has diplomatic immunity.
What? Okay.
I brought as my most powerful fighter and the leader of this iteration of Lethal Legion, Doctor Doom.
Okay. That's a pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Time travel. I guess I don't really think about Doom doing much time travel. But
And he was also at one point the Sorcerer Supreme when Strange stepped down. Because, I mean, at that point, there's probably nobody left that can match him as far as his magic abilities go. But that's what the time travel comes in, because once he learned it, how to time travel, he went back and learned magic from, like, Merlin and all the great mages throughout history and mastered the arts of magic, so...
do you think Dr. Doom just walking in and be like, "Hi, Merlin"? He just opens the door and sees a man dressed like Dr. Doom, and he's like, "Hey, how's it going? Come on in, fella."
Right?
Sit down.
I don't think he gave people much choice in as far as teaching them.
Okay. I don't see how you can force words out of somebody like that, but okay.
Doom is going to be the one who can do it, if anyone can.
I guess, dude. I don't... Showing the movie Doom? The defamation of character Doom? Okay,
That's the first one that popped up.
Wow, bro. You're going down then. If Miles Teller can beat you. Okay. All right, so this one is also kind of like the strongest of the Eternals as well. This guy is named Kronos. He is the most intelligent of all Eternals. It's far surpassing any superhuman level. He has ultimate cosmic awareness. So he knows about the living tribunal. He knows about chaos and order and just all these celestial gods. He's so enlightened on that level. He has control over the souls of the deceased. He can even force them to animate artificial objects or bodies that he can create out of nothingness. He has full control over time.
Oh.
He can even alter the flow of time. He has interstellar teleportation. So he can just teleport to anywhere in the entire cosmic reality. And then I wrote down here, you wanted the big guns, but you could have been fighting the Ginyu Force. But no. So I wrote that on there because I just thought that was so funny. Because even with Kronos, right, I was like, hey, Gildo kind of messes with the time. You know, he can freeze time and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of interesting how some of these powers parallel. Like with Jace being the fastest, you know, it's just kind of strange.
Yeah.
But Kronos...
They do have a lot of similar powers.
And
Doom and Kronos. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, it kind of is because... I mean, I just think that it's going to come down to... I mean, you're a genius too. You know... Being able to control the dead versus endless wave of Doombot, you know.
And I can also control the dead and the demons and all that stuff.
Yeah, you can conjure demons.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I think what I might have going for me is that I can actually change the flow of time. Like whereas Doom can time travel
through it, yep.
Be anywhere he wants. I can just make time flow in reverse. And how is Doom gonna prepare for that? Like,
I mean, as a former Sorcerer Supreme, he can nullify it by going into the mirror dimension, and you'd have to follow me there to be able to do anything to me.
Or just encase you there.
But could you keep me there?
Could I?
Because I could teleport out.
But I can control time. To just loop you there for the 1 second you're there. Forever.
So you're going to Dormammu me?
Why not? I mean, I can.
Have you come to bargain?
No, I came to duel. And I don't think this one's going to come down to a couple of swords. But let's see. Interstellar teleportation. I mean, I can take Doom. I could take Doom anywhere. I could just abandon you somewhere.
But I can just teleport right back. I'm a master of dimensional travel.
Okay.
Time travel. Teleportation.
Okay.
I'll hypnotize you. Make you think you're a chicken for the rest of your life.
Yeah, I don't...
Have you bok clucking around pecking for worms or whatever chickens eat.
They eat worms, I'm sure.
Just assume they eat chicken nuggets.
Yes, they just eat nuggets.
I do have power nullification. I can just nullify your powers altogether. And if all else fails, I can banish you as well.
To where? Hoboken, New Jersey?
No one wants to go to Hoboken, New Jersey. Jersey in general. Bleh. I've never been there, but I hear it smells like
If you know
trash.
what movie that was from, just comment that down below of why I said that.
So I hear New Jersey just smells like trash.
Secaucus smelled like trash.
Secaucus.
That's the only place in New Jersey I was, and it did. It smelled terrible everywhere. We were like, I don't know why, but we step out of our hotel and it just smells like trash.
What if all else
The people there were like, oh, no, that's everywhere. We were like, oh, okay.
so bad.
You're just like, you're known for your smelly air. Okay.
Right. What if, like, when all else fails, I just Captain Ginyu you?
Because the problem is that did I write this down? I just put down can control time and even the flow of time, but he's mastered like the ability to control time to the point where like he's just like he's basically omnipresent in time. He's just everywhere. So like,
so you just brought he's basically God.
He basically is like he just ascended to that level where he was a just super smart. He was like the smartest Eternal, but then he mastered being able to control time. Like each of the Eternals have a unique ability that's to themselves. You know, so most of them have like a cosmic protection over their self, and like the concussive blast and stuff. But like Makari is super speed, or control over transportation, and
Such a weird ability.
And Ajax is like fighting, so hand to hand combat or wrestling. He's just the best, like no matter what. Whereas Kronos was the one that just could think better than anybody. He just was the smartest one regardless of anything, and he wanted to figure out time, and he did it. Like and like basically it broke the barrier of what was reality and what he could actually control. So he actually ascended. Oh, I didn't even show what he looked like, did I? Where once he actually became fully powered, he basically looks like a blue-black Silver Surfer, where he just has an energy body where it kind of just looks like space. You know? So he's on that level where not only does he have like cosmic awareness, but like he could speak with them. If you don't know, like the Living Tribunal, to speak to a person or like a entity of any kind, they really have to be on a universe or like reality changing level, because he's like a multi-universe being or multi-reality being. So like it's just crazy to imagine, like just through studying he was able to reach this, which Doom hasn't.
So, children, read your books.
Yes.
Through study, you can become a god too.
Maybe.
If it works for Kronos,